Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So today, as you can probably tell by the title, I'm doing probably the scariest video I've ever made. The point of this video isn't for me to get pity or to have people feel sorry for me. I feel like self-confidence is something that so many people struggle with, and maybe, I don't know, but maybe if I tell my story, then I can help someone else feel better and realize that things aren't all bad, you know, like they're honestly not. I'm really nervous. I am so nervous. It's weird because I film videos all the time. This is deep. For me to talk about this is deep. So, yeah. So, as some of you may have noticed, like the people who watch me regularly or the people I interact with like on a daily basis, my eyes are different. I'm blind in one eye, in my left eye, and have been for quite a while. I would say maybe 14 years or something. I don't even know anymore. Like, I've lost track. It happened so long ago. It's something I've had to deal with. It's something really hard because people don't ask you about it. It's weird. People kind of skirt over it because it's like, it's the elephant in the room. So let me try to tell the story. I honestly, my memory is awful, so it's gonna be like a vague story of what actually happened. I was in primary school. I only just moved to England. I never used to live here. Like, I grew up in Zambia, so I moved here when I was around 6 or 7, and so I was in primary school, and I think I was 8 years old around this time. I was 8, but I remember this like it was yesterday. I woke up, it was like time to get ready for school. I woke up with the worst headache I have ever had in my life, and I'm someone who's just never had headaches, so anytime I've had a headache I've known it's something's wrong. This time it was indescribable pain. It was like a migraine, and I told my parents. My mum was like getting ready to go to work at this point. My dad, I think he was at home that day. So I told them, and my mum was like to my dad, "Oh, take her to the GP, like the general practice, to see a doctor or something and see what's up with that and everything." So my mum went to work, and then my dad took me to the GP, and this is such a hard story for me to tell. My dad took me to the GP, and then it was kind of like trying to get a sense of what was wrong, because it's just a headache, like it could be because of anything. And so he did a few checkups, and I think he did like a little eye test or something, and I don't remember what it was, but for some reason he referred me to the hospital, and I was 8, and so it didn't really click to me that something's probably wrong. I just thought, oh, maybe the GP can't quite work it out, so we're gonna go to the hospital and maybe they'll find out what's wrong. But like, I wasn't really present, and also my dad's a doctor. He's actually an ophthalmologist, so he's an eye doctor, and my mum's like a theatre nurse. They're both medical people, so I've never really panicked over something being wrong with me ever, just because they're like the calmest people and they explain everything to me. Like, they've done that my whole life, so I've never really panicked if I'm not feeling well. Like, I just feel safe. So I was with my dad and I just felt safe. I was just like, okay, we'll just go to the hospital. And like, me being me, I'm just like, I'm not at school today. This like really sucks. Like, I wish I was at school. Like, that's what's on my mind. I'm just like, this headache sucks. I want to be at school. So then, we went to the doctors, and oh my god, this is so hard. This is so hard to talk about. We went to the hospital, and it happened to be the hospital that my mum worked at, which was just like a complete random coincidence. So we went there, and I think I was seen by someone, and then I had been referred to like an eye doctor. So then at this point my mum came. Like I don't think she finished her shift. This is kind of what made me realize something was going on. It was when my mum came from, like, she stopped work to come and meet us because we were at her workplace but we're just in a different department. So she stopped work to come and meet us. And my memory is just of sitting in a waiting room, like lying on my dad. Like my mom and my dad were there. I'm like lying on my dad, just like killing time because like you have to wait loads in hospitals. So we're just waiting. And then I remember being seen by a doctor and he just drew this diagram. Like, am I really gonna cry? He drew this diagram trying to explain to me the fact that I had a retinal detachment. I'm 8. I have no idea what this is. I'm just like, I have a headache, make it go away. But he drew a diagram to me to try to explain, like, this is the eye, this is what the eye looks like, and then this is the back of the eye, and you have a retina at the back of the eye. Yours has become detached, and that tends to happen to people who have quite big eyes, so the retina is a bit more stretched than someone with like smaller eyes, for example. So anyways, he didn't say all this, but he was just trying to explain like my retina had become detached, and I didn't get it. Like I was just like, oh okay, because he drew me a picture and I was kind of like, okay, that he drew me what it was supposed to look like and what it did look like, and I was like, okay. Like I was 8. I honestly didn't get it. So I don't remember when it was, but I found out. Was I admitted that same day? I think I was. I think I may have been admitted that day. So they were just like, we're gonna have to operate on you to try and push the retina back by taking out the fluid that's in your eye and replacing it with oil to try and push the retina back. I'm not sure whether that... I think they were trying to see if they could save my vision. I don't know. See, this is the thing. Like, I'm not completely sure. This is the stuff that just flew over my head, like, and I never really cared because I can't see now. But so anyways, I was admitted and I had the operation, and they put the oil in and took out the natural fluid that was in my eye and put oil in, and then why is my voice so shaky? Yeah, so they did that, and so then my eye was visibly different. But I didn't know that for ages because I had like a patch on my eye when I was recovering. I've seen pictures of me and I look so small. I'm like, how did I go through that at such a young age? But I had a patch for like days. I was in hospital for ages. My mum was like literally by my side the whole time. My brothers came to visit me. I remember all sorts of things. I remember going home and like there was this huge card that everyone at school had made for me. It was just the cutest thing ever. I didn't really understand what was going on, and that makes me really sad now because, like, I don't know. It wasn't a fair situation, but like I get that now. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. I had a retinal detachment, and to try and push my retina down, they put oil in my eye, which changed the colour of my iris, but it wasn't really a successful operation, which meant that I lost the vision in that eye now, so I can't see from that side, and so it's visibly different. That's what people see, so no one knows really the backstory, apart from like my family, but that's just what you see, is you see like my pupils are visibly different, and that's why, like, that's literally what happened. Like, over the years, the colour of my pupil has changed. Sometimes it's been more noticeably different, and more recently it's actually become a lot more identical to my good side. But yeah, I've had like people asking me questions and people like making jokes and all this kind of stuff that like it makes you uncomfortable, and I never really knew what to do with that. Like I never really knew how to deal with people poking fun at me for something I had no control over. People asking me questions, it was kind of like I kind of preferred that, but then at the same time I still felt awkward when people would ask me, because every time someone asked me something in that moment I realized that I don't look the same as everyone else, and I forget that sometimes. I forget that all the time actually. And it's hard, like it's really hard, but that's kind of why I wanted to make the video because this life-altering thing happened to me, and it has affected the way, like, it's affected my confidence, but I think it's affected it more positively the older I've got. I understand more now. Oh my gosh, like, you know when you have fresh makeup and you're crying? This is not ideal, y'all. This is not ideal. Okay. Okay, my glasses are clean again. So, what was I saying? Where am I? Get it together, Abigail. Okay, so all I'm saying is that when people ask me, in that moment, like if someone asks me something about it, I don't get picked on anymore. That was kind of like when I was smaller. But now I'm like an adult. What are you really gonna say? Like, it doesn't really affect me because I'm maturer now. But when people ask me questions about it, in that moment, I just remember like, crap, I don't look like everyone else. Like I genuinely forget. I genuinely forget about it. But it changes so many things. Like, I don't really take off my glasses in front of people. So my camera only records in like 15 minutes and then it stops and then I have to start again. So I think that's what happened. Either way, I'll try and remember what I was saying. Basically, there's lots of things that I do differently because I'm really self-conscious about my eye. Like, it's only recently I just felt comfortable taking my glasses off in front of like my best friends, people I've known for over a decade, kind of best friends, only just recently. Like, there's very few people I can look in the eye when I'm not wearing glasses. I can probably count them on one hand. My mum, my dad, and my 3 brothers. I can make eye contact if I'm not wearing glasses, like comfortably. Like, there's all sorts of adjustments that I know I make, but you don't really think about it because they're so integrated into my everyday life and just how I've chosen to do stuff to feel like I'm protecting myself in a way. But just the point of this video is just, I just want people to understand that beauty is just a concept. It's simply a concept that has been created. When I was in Zambia, compared to now living in England, when I was in Zambia, I had no sense of this thing that the media has created in the Western world to sell people this ideal image. Like, I had no sense of that. So that made me very aware when I came here and I saw it, that this is something that industries have worked so hard on over the years to create, to make people spend money. That's why beauty is sold to the people. I think I saw a quote one time that said beauty was stolen from the people and sold back to them, and that's exactly what I've seen. And I just want people to understand that they're beautiful the way they are, with their imperfections, with the things they're not so comfortable about. You can still achieve everything you want to, like, everything you want to do. You're amazing just the way you are. Like, you don't need to change yourself. it's part of you. It's part of your identity. That's who you are, and that's why everyone's so beautiful. Because I can't walk down the street and find another me. You know, can't walk down the street and find another you. Like, we're individual for a reason, and we should really embrace that. And that's what I feel like I'm learning to do now that I'm older. And I want the people that watch this to feel the same. Like, they should just embrace who they are, because no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what's happened to you, you can achieve anything you want to achieve. You can become the most confident person, even if you weren't before, just by understanding that it's just a concept that's being sold to you. Beauty is just a concept that's being sold to you. What does it really mean? Like, what does it really mean, you know? I just want people to think about that, because this is something that, it bugs me. It bugs me when I realized it, when I came to realize it, that the media has created this image for people, and people, like, nearly damn near kill themselves just to achieve perfection. What is perfection? Like, what is that? Like, when will you stop, you know? When will you be happy? When will you be content? Like, this is good enough. Like, I'm just gonna deal with the cards I've been dealt. Like, when will you reach that point if you're constantly just bringing yourself down, comparing yourself to the most unrealistic, unattainable standards, like, that they don't even exist. Some of the models you look at don't even look like that. Like, some of the celebrities you look at, they don't even look like that on a daily basis. They don't wear, like, the best clothes and or the makeup and have the most amazing body, but they've been branded in that way, and just people believe that they have to look like that in order to be someone. It's not true. Like, it's not true. I just want to preach self-confidence. Like, love the skin you're in. Literally, it's possible. I'm doing it right now by making this video and being so raw and honest. It's showing you that it's possible to just embrace it. Embrace it. You should love yourself just the way you are, because, like, you are beautiful. But yeah, that was a hard video. I don't know if I regret this. I don't know if this is a big mistake, but it's all done now. It's out there. I hope you took something away from this video. Like, share this video. I never ever say this, but share this video with someone who you feel might need it. Someone who needs to just be a bit more uplifted. Share this. I want people to hear this message, and people to hear my story and understand that they're not alone. People like them exist. We're all human here. We're all human here. Yeah, dude, like, thanks for watching.